In this video, we have been given the equation x times x times x and then plus x equaling to 10, and we shall have to find the values of x. Now, how can we solve such an equation? First of all, x times x times x is the same as x raised to the power of 3, and then plus x equaling to 10. And at this point, we can take 10 to the left-hand side. So we shall have x to the power of 3 plus x minus 10, and this will be equal to 0. Now we know that x is the same as 5x minus 4x. And this can also be written as negative 4x plus 5x. Therefore, we shall replace x with this. So we shall have x to the power of 3, and then instead of x, we shall write minus 4x plus 5x, and then minus 10 equaling to 0. Now, if you look at this, you will notice that x is a common factor. So let's pull it out. This will give us x into, so this will be x to the power of 2 minus 4, and then plus, and also for this part, 5 is a common factor. So let's pull it out. So this will be 5 into, for the first part, we shall have x minus, for the second part, we shall remain with 2, and this will be equal to 0. So we shall have x into, this will be x to the power of 2 minus, now 4 is the same as 2 raised to the power of 2, and then plus 5 into x minus 2, and this will be equal to 0. Now if you remember, we know that if we have, let's say, a to the power of 2 minus b to the power of 2, this is the same as a plus b, and then times a minus b. Therefore, we shall express this in the same way. So we shall have x times x plus 2, and then times x minus 2, and then plus 5 times x minus 2, and this will be equal to 0. And once again, x minus 2 is a common factor. If we pull it out, we shall have x minus 2 into, for the first part, we shall remain with x times x plus 2, and then plus, for the second part, we shall remain with 5, and this will be equal to 0. This will give us x minus 2 into, now if we expand this, x times x will give us x to the power of 2 plus x times 2, which will give us 2x, and then plus 5, and this will be equal to 0. If we set x minus 2 to be equal to 0, if we take negative 2 to the right hand side, we shall have x equaling to 2. And that's our first value of x. And also, if we set x to the power of 2 plus 2x, and then plus 5 to be equal to 0, what will be the values of x? Notice that this equation cannot be factored. Therefore, we shall use the quadratic formula. We shall have x equaling to negative b plus or minus the square root of b to the power of 2 minus 4sc, and this will be divided by 2a. Now in our equation, the coefficient of x to the power of 2 is 1. Therefore a will be 1, and then b will be 2, and c will be 5. So we shall have x equaling to negative b, which is 2, plus or minus the square root of 2 to the power of 2 minus 4 times 1 and then times 5, and this will be divided by 2 times 1. So this will be x equaling to negative 2 plus or minus the square root. Now 2 to the power of 2 will be 4 minus 4 times 5, which is 20, divided by 2. And so x will be equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 20, which is negative 16, divided by 2. Now the square root of negative 16 is the same as the square root of negative 1 times 16, and this is the same as the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 16. And we know that the square root of negative 1 is I. Therefore, the square root of negative 16 will be equal to I times the square root of 16. Therefore, x will be equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 16 times I, and this will be divided by 2. So x will be equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 16 is 4 times I divided by 2. Now this 2 will cancel with this and that, and we shall remain with 2. So x will be equal to negative 1 plus or minus 2i. Therefore, x2 will be equal to negative 1 plus 2i, and then x3 will be equal to negative 1 minus 2i. Therefore, that's how you can solve such an equation. If you have found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.